How's it going, YouTube? And welcome to my Amazonas deck tech. Year is 2017. With the release of Amazonas Princess, I think this deck is quite viable. Uh, nah, I'm just kidding. Year's 2022. We are in Tier 0 format with a fucking tier and the release of Magnificent Maidens and Darkwing Blast. Amazon's got some new cards in Darkwing Blast, which I think makes the deck a lot more fun and decently viable as a rogue strategy. I'm going to go over what I play in the main board, in my X deck, and then in my sideboard. And I play this at locals. So first, we start off with the Amazon's Princess. Amazing card. We don't play any of the usual traps or anything, rather than the Amazoness Calls and the new Secret Arts. Uh, but she being able to search up call is very important, and I'll explain why later. We also play a play set of baby tigers as a just a extra creature you can get on board off a couple different things. You can use it to go into certain fusions, or as a recurring link monster as well that you can just link off into. We play 3 of the new Amazonas Warchief, a very important card for the deck. You can special summon it. And it lets you set, usually you set polymerization or fusion substitute. But you can also use it to set call or secret arts if you've already used most of your polymerizations. And then we play 2 Spiritualists, another new card from Darkwing Blast. It also lets you get the poly, and is also very important. You can get it back from your graveyard at multiple points, or you can special summon on the field in case you need it quickly. And then we play a 1-of Amazon Queen. She's important for a couple certain end boards that you can end up on. You can search her out using Augusta, which is quite nice. And in some situations, she can just stop your board from dying. We play 1 Spy as a 1-of possible extender if it's needed to grab off of, say, Amazoness Call, or if it's just in your hand, it's pretty good. Then we play 2 of the new pendulums. We play Silver Sword and Golden Whip. These are both pretty important. You can bounce into your hand with Spiritualists and then just replace them into your pendulum. They can also come back from the graveyard if you use them for fusion summon. And this is all while playing for Amazoness monsters in the main deck. Rather than that, as you can already see, we play Neospace Connector as a 3-of and 1 Aqua Dolphin as the remaining main deck monsters. We do play Isolde. So they're nice as it's basically a 1-card combo to get into Isolde and possibly whip off a card for your opponent's hand. Aqua Dolphin is also very important as it can send your secret arts to the graveyard, so you can use that very powerful effect. And this is it for the remaining main deck monsters. We play, for spells, we play 3 Amazoness Calls. This card, it can basically be a Rhoda to add an Amazoness to your hand, but more importantly, what you usually want to use it for is to send any of your secret arts to the graveyard. Getting that effect to banish this from the graveyard to go into a more powerful fusion summon, like Augusta, is very important. So we play 3 of these. You can play 2. I think 2 is the minimum. 3 is fine. But playing 2 will give you an extra slot if you want to play something else, like a hand trap or anything along that. And this is it for the Amazon spells and traps. We don't play any of the other things, like any of the traps or any of the other spells, as in this meta they're not too helpful. And that other spells we play 1 Rhoda, because it searches for, well, basically any card in the deck. Neospace Connector is a good grab, along with Princess can be an alright grab, or a Spiritualist. Even Spy if you really need that extra normal summon to get into Isolde. Foolish Bearer of Goods. This is basically your fourth copy of Amazoness Call. This, in some cases, if you have this and Call, you just use this as some Secret Arts of the Graveyard, and then you just Rhoda with Call. Foolish Burial, there's some good targets in the deck. Mostly your extenders like Baby Tiger, if you just need an extra monster on the field to fusion summon away. Or even sending any of these guys to the graveyard, any of the pendulum monsters to the graveyard is also pretty good, as they can just reset themselves back onto your pendulum zone whenever you summon any of your Amazonas. Or sending spirituals to the graveyard is also quite good. Foolish Burial isn't necessary for the deck, but it is quite nice as a one-of. Then we play a polymerization package. We play 2 regular polymerizations and a single substitute. Substitute is nice. You can grab it off of any of your guys, especially like War Chief. Just setting it with War Chief is nice. And when you send one of your fusions to the graveyard, you can immediately get that draw off of it. Play 1 instant fusion. We have 2 different targets for it. We can either grab a Millenniumize Restrict to help eat a hand trap, or any interruption your opponent might have from the hand, or Flame Swordsman. This can be any warrior fusion. I just play Flame Swordsman because, well, it's Flame Swordsman. It's important in some situations. If you don't need the extra warrior, you just go for this, even if it's not helpful at all and doesn't stop anything. You can just link it off later into, say, like an IP Masquerader. And by that, we play 2 Pot of Desires. These aren't really necessary for the deck, but the card draw can be nice. You do want to wait as long as possible until popping these, as you do play a couple important cards that you do want to draw, and if you banish them all, you can just lose the game. So really, you can just replace these with anything. We play 2 Tactics. If you get stopped, the extra card draw can be very nice. I have my deck built to go first, with a bunch of going second cards in the extra deck. 1 Called By to help stop a hand trap, and then we play 3 Equip Spells. We play a Living Fossil, we play a Divine Sword, and a DDR. Divine Sword can be actually very nice, as it can, in some situations, you can use the Divine Sword to banish one of your Amazons, and then you can just DDR it back in case you drew your DDR. And this is it for the main deck. No traps, as traps are a bit slow, so they're not really necessary, and no imperms, as basically like the only trap you would play anyways. In the extra deck, you play the instant fusion targets, a Flame Swordsman and Millenniumize, and then for Amazoness monsters, you play 2 Empress, 2 Augusta, and 2 Pet Liger King. You can play a 3rd Augusta if you really want, but this is the only lineups for Amazoness monsters I run. It's all that tends to be necessary. You can usually end up on a board containing a Liger King, an Augusta, and an Empress. And Empress is your usual target to send to the graveyard when you're fusion summoning alongside the Secret Arts. And having just 2 copies of them all is nice. In some situations, you will end up with 2 Augustas on board. But rather than that, this is all nice. This helps protect all your other monsters from being attacked. Augusta means you can't be targeted by effects, and Empress makes it so your stuff can't be destroyed by effects. Essentially locking the opponent from being able to destroy your board at all. You do have problems with, like, non-targeting removal that banishes and stuff like that. Or that sends them to the graveyard, but you can't have everything. And we can go into our links. You play 1 IP, 1 Isold. Isold is very important. Isold, you get to add one of your pendulum skills to your hand. You usually want to add your Chain Whipmaster, or your Golden Whipmaster to your hand. As it's level 5, you can use it to go into Pet Liger King, and it has a very powerful effect. Well, it has a very similar effect to Silver, but Silver you only grab in case you already have gold in your hand. You always want to grab gold. And then when you use her effect, you're usually going to want to grab Princess to grab, say, Call or an extra Amazoness Arts if you would use one. Uh, on Secret Arts. But if you've already used Amazoness Princess, going for Spiritualist is fine. IP Masquerader, sometimes you just have extra stuff that you can link away, and you can use this to help protect some other stuff or instant speed going to something else. You play one Phoenix, one Unicorn. These can really be anything, just in certain matchups, these are very nice to have. One BLS. This can be a very strong monster, especially if it's made with IP plus some other stuff, being untargetable and basically not being able to be dealt with by your opponent. Play one Appaloosa, because at the same point as making BLS, if you have IP to make this, you can set up some negates on board, and also it can't be dealt with without going like straight to the battle phase. But at that same point, you would also usually have like Pet Liger King to help protect it, because Pet Liger King doesn't just stop your opponent from attacking Amazoness, it stops them attacking anything. So they have to attack Liger King before they can try to deal with anything else in your board. And then we play one Mirjade. This is a funny tech card, as you can see already. I am going to be playing these in the sideboard. The reason that it's Ice Jade is because at my locals, it's really good Despria fucking branded player, and it's just a funny tech against him. This can really be anything. Usually if you're playing the cherries, you want to play things that are relevant to your meta, or T-element or spike cards, obviously. And then, for my side deck, I play 3 Winter Cherries. Very important. You can use these basically to shut down T-element decks or spike decks. And for that point, we play 1 Kit Kalos and 1 Gigas. Simply to send them with cherries to rip them out of your opponent's extra deck. We play 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. Obviously, if my opponent sets up first, I play these, I shut all the shit off, and then I'm free to do whatever. 3 Ghost Spells. It's important for like Tier and some other decks. Usually you'd want these to be Dimension Shifters, or even the new big dragons whose names I forget. But in general, they're just pretty nice cards to be able to play in this format. 1 MST and Harpy Feather Duster, mostly to destroy Mystic Mine and any back row focus deck. MST can really be like Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twisters. I just play MST mostly for nostalgia, and I don't find banishing a single spell to be too relevant in this format. Then 2 Lightning Storm. This can be a board clear, or it can be a back row removal, so it's kind of in the same situation as this. Helps clear stuff like Mystic Mine and all that. You can play 3, as one of these can be moved to the main extra deck, and you can take out the... Where is he? My Mirjade. There he is. You can take out Mirjade, put one of these in the main, and you have an extra slot, possibly for a 3rd Lightning Storm or anything relevant to what you're playing with. That's basically it for everything in the deck. But there's some quite nice things that you can do with this deck. I think it's decently strong as a rogue strategy. You can get a pretty decent board. You can play through at least 1 hand trap, so as long as you don't get absolutely hand trapped out of the game, you can just keep playing. Let me run out a test hand for you. I'll show you the small things you can do. Alright, at least play a test hand for you. Kind of show what the deck can do. So this is a backhand, which absolutely sucks. But let me see if there's anything you can do with this. No, that locks you out of that. That might be something you can do, actually. No, this might just be a brick. Ooh, wait, maybe not. No, no, I'm pretty sure this is a brick. Alright, let's test out a different hand instead. Those hands can happen. I find them to be quite rare, as you really have just a lot of, like, an extender plus any other card usually works. Drawing two polys is not what you want. You usually want to have them all on deck and you can just search them out. So seeing both of those there, really unfortunate. Alright, that's this it. And this is a pretty good hand. You can start off by special summoning your Warcaster. You want to do this before popping the Instant Fusion, as you can only special summon it if you have no monsters or only Amazonas monsters. So you can do this. I will usually set... where are you? Usually set Fusion Substitute. You set this from here, then you can pop your Instant Fusion. You don't need Flame Swordsman here, so instead just make Millennium Eyes as protection. You can normal summon Princess, Princess to add Call. You pop Call, sending Secret Arts to the graveyard. You send Secret Arts to the graveyard, and then you can just instantly banish this. No reason not to. You can link these two off into Isold. Isold adding Golden Whip. Then you can banish two. In this situation, I'd probably keep Didier in the main deck. And I'll banish Living... Well, not banish. I'll send Living Fossil and Divine Soul to the graveyard. Which will special summon out my Spiritualist. Spiritualist effect will activate here and poly to your hand, but it doesn't lock you out. It will only lock you out, lock you into Amazonas monsters if you special summon it with its own effect. But you can just go and add a poly to your hand. From here, you can flip a Fusion Substitute to send her to the graveyard alongside an Empress to make Augusta. And Augusta effect will trigger, allowing you to special summon whatever the fuck you want. In this situation, I think the best thing to send to summon... you could summon a baby tiger. Already gone through everything else. You don't need Queen right away. Yeah, in this situation, you just grab your baby tiger and summon it in defense. Before proceeding, you're going to want to banish your Fusion Substitute, put your Empress back in your extra deck to draw one random card, which is the Center of the Call, which we can use next turn. Uh, there's a couple things you can do here. Obviously, you can make Appaloosa using these guys because you can get your tiger back. Or you can use it to make VLS, or you can just make an IP. So in this situation, let's say we make IP before we're locked in Amazon's monsters. Even though you can't summon or use effects of creatures with the name Amazon's Golden Whip Master, you can still set it as a pendulum scale. And from here, you can return it to your hand to bring back your Spiritualist, and I'll also trigger your Baby Tiger to come back as well. Spiritualist already uses effect to add, so you don't get that, but she can still bring herself back. Then, use Polymerization to send this and this Golden Whip Master from your hand to make a Pet Liger King. And then from here, you can possibly use Pet Liger King's effect, which I might just do. Because you can pop your Baby Tiger to go grab a princess. You already use the effect, but just having her on board is better than just having the Baby Tiger on board, as her name is Amazon's Queen while on the field. Then you can set 2. And just keep this tactics in your hand, or set it as well, doesn't really matter. And then you can go to your opponent's turn. On your opponent's turn, one of the first things you should do is possibly during their draw phase, activate Call. Using Call to send. You don't need to send Secret Hits. I would recommend sending Silver Sword Master to the graveyard, as you'll be able to get it back into a pendulum scale when you summon. From here, you can use these two to make a plethora of different dudes. Usually you can just use these two to make an Appaloosa. You just bring out Appaloosa, or you can make a Unicorn if you think it's necessary. You just have Appaloosa with two negates on it. And you also, going into battle phase, or if they try to kill your Augusta, you can activate Secret Arts, use these two to fusion, to make another Augusta. This will trigger her effect, letting you special summon, but you also can chain block it. So you can go chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4. So you can use your Baby Tiger, you set up with 2 pendulum scales, and then you get to bring out a last big monster, which is Amazon's Queen. Meaning these guys can't be destroyed in battle. You can only target Augusta, and you possibly just dodge one. They each have, depending on their level, 100 for each level. So, for example, your Augusta here is now at 52,000 attack, and can attack twice because you use Queen as a material by sending Princess. Your Pet Liger has an extra 1,800 attack, and can't be destroyed in battle, and must be attacked as the only monster. You have 2 negates from Appaloosa, along with just an extra fodder from here for next turn, and this. And then, assuming your opponent can't do anything else to your board, they just pass back to you, and you can usually just kill them, along with your draw of whatever. Foolish Burial, doesn't really matter. You can always bring back Spiritualist by bouncing any one of these. You can just reset them, either add a poly to your hand. So you add your last Polymerization to your hand. You can banish Secret Arts if you really think it's necessary. You can use Liger King to pop one of these guys to return, say, Princess to your hand. To feel, use Princess effect, add, say, another call. You can use a poly, using just Princess, along with, say, doesn't really matter, just send this Empress to the graveyard due to Secret Arts, summon an Empress, and have another Secret Arts to possibly dodge something next turn and poly some of your stuff away. And you should be able to just smack your opponent as you have piercing damage, and then they should just die. This is just one of the pretty good hands that you can get out of this deck. Having some interaction in Appaloosa, being able to stop them from interacting with you with like Millennium Eyes, if they don't immediately shotgun to stop your poly, which in that case wouldn't have really mattered. I don't think you would have been slightly further behind. Possibly missing one or two monsters, but you can still play through it. But this is my Amazon's deck tech for the new set that came out in Darkwing Blast in 2022. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.